Bitcoin dropping faster than a milkman's trousers after finding out the lovely granny down the street is single and ready to mingle. Bitcoin failed to break the 50 DMA on its first pump attempt. And with Bitcoin falling below once again the bone zone and potentially dabbling the bigly bone zone, just how far can Bitcoin go? I'm your host, Ricky Reacharound, and with Bitcoin continuing to head lower after failing to recapture the $60,000 level and the 50 DMA, what comes next for Bitcoin is more shocking than a housewife finding out that her husband has been making suggestive, perhaps even dirty phone calls to the beautiful granny down the street. So you get the new channel, make sure you like, subscribe, change these absolute time-sensitive alerts as well. We have 3 days left, and all you have to do to enter to win a ledger or equivalent in BTC is make sure to leave your comment below. It is for subscribers, and as well there's a second one for everybody following my real Instagram, linked below. And without any further ado, it's time to make a mess. So with Bitcoin now currently beneath the bone zone in a very precarious position, what is going on for Bitcoin? And so we're going to be jumping into the TA and kind of just updating what we've been talking about for the last couple of days here, but I want to cover a few things first. So the Puel multiple says here, Bitcoin miners do not want to sell at this level. What it is implying that miners have not felt the pressure to sell at this current level. And what it does is indicate the estimates of how much profit mining pools are currently in compared to the 1 year historical average. And usually when this multiple gets very high, the price usually starts to top out as the miners sell, because it makes it more likely the miners will sell. And obviously miners have huge impacts on the price of Bitcoin. On the other hand, low values may be seen during periods of bottoms. And you can see that here. We're at basically the same level that we were at back in the last month of 2020 before we ran from about 20K up to 65K. Okay, so we're in a very interesting position here. If the Puel multiple is anything to go by, Bitcoin may not have formed a top and could still have potential to grow before a real peak. And again, that's one of a couple dozen on-chain metrics and a couple dozen important analytics that we and many people have been using to gauge Bitcoin right now. And so another thing I just want to highlight as well is that TechDev here on Twitter tweeted about Bitcoin's current position and the similarities in structure, in corrective structure, as to 4 years ago, almost to the day. In 2021, Bitcoin continuing to run a few days behind what it was in 2017. You see, you kind of just mapped out the RSI here compared to Bitcoin's structure. And again, keep in mind, 2017 and here in 2021, both in bull markets. So just very interesting things to note. But if we want to jump into the TA for Bitcoin, obviously the same thing we've been talking about is the potential for Bitcoin to, again, continue correcting for the next week or so, potentially all the way down to that $50,000 level as the 21 week comes up to meet it there. That is the big test that really matters. And looking on this weekly, especially the daily chart, we did see a big bounce on November 19th. So we went all the way down to about 54 and bounced right back up and got rejected at 60K again. Okay, that's what we talked about in the intro. We got rejected at this 50-day moving average, which we spent about 2 days testing. Okay, so after that bounce, obviously that failed, so now we're going down. And keep in mind, for the past, out of the last 7 weeks, from beginning here in the end of September to the beginning of November, it was 6 green weeklies and 1 red. I would even call that neutral. It barely did anything. So out of the last 7 weeks here, it was pretty much only green. So seeing a pullback, potentially again down to this moving average, is really the only thing that matters. And if we come down to it, which I would love to see, come down to this 21 week in a very quick fashion, in a way I don't think a lot of people would be expecting. And what I mean by that is painful, okay? Where you get on Twitter or YouTube and everyone's like, oh good golly, what happened? What just happened? What's going on? Something like that. Something to cause panic. I'm not talking about this $1,000 dump move and then 5 days go by and then another $1,000 dump and slow dumpiness. I'm talking about a quick, big dumpiness. And that's what I want to see. I love those because it gets it over with, and it usually very often signals the bottom point when we see that quick dump and then reversal, very quick bounce back. But yeah, if we go on these short time frames, yeah, guys, we've gotten rejected on each of these key moves on the short time frames as well. This is the 1 hour chart on all these short-term moving averages as well. And again, we go into the 4 hour, same exact thing. Bitcoin's momentum is right now in more of a dumpy zone, and we could see this continue, as I've been saying for the past few days. For at least another week. At least another week, we could see this continue. And now falling below 56 is also big. There is a cluster of support here, but again, next big level is right around 54, where we initially did bounce. But obviously, as we just said, the 21 week at about 50K is the ultimate level where I think, again, that is exactly where I'm going to have positions already set to enter for long positions for sure. I'm not convinced we're going to get there. Okay, I'm not saying we're going to get there. I'm just saying that it definitively, in my eyes, would be an area where we would bounce if we came down to those levels. You know, it could not even go down that low, but again, the bigly bone zone actually is down here between 51.5 to about 53. It's a bigger zone because there's a lot more traded volume in there where Bitcoin spent a lot of time. But at this point, the point of this is not to say that I think 50 is the bottom. This could be the bottom. Okay, 56 easily could be. And my point is, I think we're going to be getting very bullish here very soon. But my point is, I want to see a very big wick. Okay. And like I said, I would love to see it down to like 50 and then within 2 hours be back above 56 or something like that. So a very big, fast, quick swing that gets bought up and shakes out a lot of traders, okay? Because right now, again, all this chop, a lot of this has to do with probably the increased level of trading we see in the markets and people trying to time every little dip. And as well with that, the DXY actually, again, on to set another new high. We've been talking about this. We're going to keep watching this. DXY continuing to rally here, but it is coming into a big level of previous support, which we would think now would be resistance, especially how the DXY has been on a pretty strong uptrend for the past month. Is it going to be running into resistance here? And could that signal strength for Bitcoin, which it would? Those are the levels I think to be watching for Bitcoin. But other than that, I don't think this dump is going to be over until we see a very quick volatile move and rebound in a very short amount of time, which we have not seen yet. We're kind of teetering down to it. But the question is, when will we get there? If you guys are new to the channel, big like change to see absolute time-sensitive alerts as well. Make sure to enter for our 2 competitions going on right now. All you have to do to enter is leave a comment below. It is for subscribers. And as well, for Instagram, all you have to do for that one is follow me on Instagram because we're trying to combat all the fake Instagram accounts. And the bigger I can get my real Instagram, the more chance I have of getting rid of some of the fake Instagram accounts. Thank you for the